China trade shift. Nasdaq at 1%. Big move. It's all pre-market though. Let's see if we can sustain. We're getting up towards distributive territory again. What we've seen in the recent past. Been up here 2 times. We'll see if what we're gonna do in the 3rd time. Morning, Rob. Apple looks like it's got a cup and handle going on. Yeah, cup and handle base. China tariffs. China may not retaliate. That's why we're rallying. Looks like market's going to open here in a few seconds. We'll see what happens. Latest round of China tariffs 15% more. Takes effect September 1st, which is midnight on Saturday. Yeah, does look pretty bullish. China has ample means for retaliation, but thinks the question that should be discussed now is about removing the new tariff to prevent escalation of the trade war. All right, so Nasdaq up over 1%. Got MJ up today. Starbucks up about 0.69%, which should put it eerily close to my alert level, if not over it. There's a little gap up on the overnight session here on our good friend Starbucks. And that's part of my go signal. MJGE up 1 point something percent. RP. Let's see what's up globally here. 5 below. Sienna bouncing off the 200-day moving average. Stitch Fix wants a hot stock for about 12 minutes. AMD still holding up there pretty good.
And Mommy's awake.
Yeah, it looks good, James. How about your back here? You got get your back.
I know, I got it.
You did a really good job.
Because every time I try it, it keeps saying.
Oh, it's okay. Come here, give me a hug. Does that frustrate you? Okay, can you bring your brush? I'll help you out. You look, James, you did a great job, dude. All right, MU popping. Nasdaq 1.25. People are wanting to get in. Let's check out my Starbucks trade. I don't want to miss it. How are we doing? All right, so what you do with the back of your hair, maybe tilt your head forward a little bit. You kind of curl it in like this, okay? You feel me going into your hair?
Mm-hmm.
It looks, James, you did a really good job. I'm proud of you. Good job. All right. Gold's flattening out. We'll see what happens with that. And in terms of the trade war and everything.
Not gonna play?
Yeah, you can play for a little bit. Yes, you can.
And I'm playing on my profile.
Okay, good.
It's Mario.
Okay.
I'm gonna play.
All right, 3% now. Starbucks starting to move up a little bit. Keep in mind, everyone, it may not feel like it, but we are in a confirmed uptrend. This was our follow-through day over here, and we have not undercut the prior low. So technically, we are in an uptrend. So I would not be too hesitant to get into stocks at this moment in time. I'm going to take a little position in Starbucks here. Yeah, well, one thing, Rob, is that sometimes, first of all, the market always wants to go up. That's one thing to always keep in mind. The market's default direction is up. It's not down. So people are not always looking to leave the market. They're always looking for a reason to get into the market, especially the institutions, because they're mandated to put money to work. So you can't have, you have to be able to flip extremely quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like even yesterday morning and the day before, I was like, well, it looks like we're probably going to sell off. And then today I'm looking at getting into Starbucks. That is not, how do I put this? That's being very flexible. That's being very flexible, because what happens is sometimes, not all the time, and each little market situation is different. Every market correction is different. You never go into a situation and, we've had interest rates at 2% looking to go to zero. We've had China tariffs. We've had a guy's president, which arguably is an idiot. You know what I'm saying? You've never had this situation before. This situation will never happen again. And the same with every other situation. The only consistency is inconsistency. And yeah, you really have to, it's being in the moment and being able to look forward a little bit. I mean, we are, even when I'm bullish taking positions, I'm still very defensive. I'm still very defensive, looking for potential ways that the market can screw me. So it's a duality. It's really a duality, unless you're just extremely bullish with no headwinds, which happened for the past several years. It hasn't happened, in the past year, from October to now, from last October until now, it hasn't been that way. But I mean, prior to October, it's just been clear sailing. Those are awesome markets, but they don't happen extraordinarily often. A lot of times you're kind of all over the place. This being one of those situations. So you take the opportunities that come to you, and then when the market is in and up, that's the great thing, in my opinion, about the IBD, marketing correction confirmed uptrend situation, is it takes a lot of that thought process out. And I was talking yesterday in my power hour about that, look, you just have to go with the market. Actually, it was my extreme stream yesterday. Like, some guys, hey, shouldn't we be talking about why Bitcoin's going down? I go, no, we shouldn't, because that's dumb. And we shouldn't be doing that. What we should be doing is focusing on the action and not why the action is occurring, because you never get to know why. You only get to know the action. So the IBD distribution day count and follow-through day system gives you the action without all the why. It's worked in every single market, the distribution day and follow-through day signals. So they're not always perfect by any stretch of the imagination. They're not perfect, but they're better than any other system that I can think of off the top of my head, especially if we're talking about market direction. So, follow-through day here. Yes, we got fuddish, but we haven't undercut yet. And that's the thing, is that we're still okay. Now, we've done some back testing, and there have been some days where you've had a follow-through day, and then it's taken 30, 40, 50 days for the market to get going. You know what I mean? There have been, we witnessed this after last October. There have been follow-through days that are immediately failed. So no system is perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you have to be willing to go with the system if you're going to use this system. And so, there's some FUD out there. Definitely fear, definitely uncertainty, definitely doubt. And but you all you have to do is go with the system. That's the only thing you can do. Only thing you can do. So today, market being up 1.5%. We'll see how it goes. Nothing's guaranteed. Starbucks just pulled in a little bit here on a little gap move. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be what it's going to be. Only thing you can do is cut your losses short if they occur. And if you have profitable trades, you just let it go. You just let it ride. But you just take the good signals. That's all you do is take the good signals. All right, so we gapped up 1.5%. Let's look at the Qs for a second. Yeah, Q's looking fairly bullish. Decent volume on the open here. A little bit over yesterday, just a little bit, not a lot. Nice little gap up on the Qs. So I did take, like I said, a starter position in that Starbucks trade, but that's all I'm in right now. I mean, I'm not in like 15 different stocks. So what I'm saying right now is I'm not saying you have to go in and start buying thing and have a 100% filled account. What I'm saying is that you take prudent situations that come up. You're able to partake in that. Roku's a good example of a stock that recently has been very good. Looks like it's taken a hit this morning. Carvana, we've talked about these ones that have kind of been leading during this weird market situation that we've been in. And they have been few and far between. We've been doing good on the gold trade. So, Okay. And we'll go back to watching our buddy Starbucks for a while. All right, so Starbucks starting to curl up over these recent highs here a little bit. Definitely with a gap move. Looks like it's going to come down and fill the gap. And then we'll probably bounce out of it from there. Hopefully. Or we'll just cave all the way through, and this will be another topping area. And then I'll have to take a loss, which would suck. Talked about MJ the other day. Actually, yesterday it gapped down pretty hard and came back relatively nicely. Right there, not too bad. If you're looking, longer term plays, if the market does turn bullish on us, MJ could be a participant in that, and the fact that it's down pretty low. Let's take a look at some of the MJ stocks. Kill some of these. There we go. Take a look at some of the MJ stocks. Get rid of the over-the-counter ones. Okay, so GWPH, not looking very healthy right there. OGI doesn't tell me what exchange it's on. Could be any of them. Not looking great. APHA. What was that one? Growing. Growing. This one looking good. That's an over-the-counter stock. Looks like this one is kind of in an uptrend. So this would not be in the MJ ETF because it's an over-the-counter stock. I don't believe ETFs can invest in over-the-counter securities. So this one not too bad, actually. Cron still in that very long-term trend line. Hasn't gone beneath it quite yet. Does bode well for some potential bouncing. CGC, on the other hand, is lower and even under these prior lows over here, at least ever so slightly. ACB also under its longer-term trend line. Nothing major going on there. Hexo lower and Tilray also lower. Not really looking like it's bouncing much at all. So nothing major in with the MJ plays. Cheap stock scanner. Let's check this guy. This is for super stocks. They get bought out. Yep, they got bought out. All right. So look at this guy. This was one of ours. Look at all the way up here. I think we had it back down here towards the $5 level. Already $8 or 7.5. Pretty good. SMSI looking not shabby right here. Beautiful bounce up. Still consolidating up here. It's not too bad. Been a while since we looked at these. ATRS. Interesting. CPRX not too bad. Kind of curling back up. It's okay. Some of these other ones have lost a little bit of luster. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize I was holding the down key. I was wiping my eyes. All right. AXU. Good volume stepping into this guy. Looks like it's getting over 249. It's been higher in the past. So a nice clear break over that 249 level could do the body, or 259 level could do the body good here. Renewed interest right off this $1 level right up to 250. Is this an over the counter? I'm not sure. SVM from 2 to 440. Silver Corp Metals. Oh, so they're a silver play. No wonder you're doing good. Nothing crazy interesting. One or two good ones. Oh, actionable list. That's where I want to live. Okay. GLD. Let's take a look at the ones not doing so well today. Sand. Tilra. Overstock. MDCO pulling in just a little bit today. Atlassian. Gold. Gold pulling in some yesterday with a sell-off in the morning. Today with a sell-off in the morning. So far, volume is not that large, so not too bad right there. Team. ZTO won't get going. And Starbucks looks like it came back, filled the gap, and we'll see if we're going to start bouncing back here. I mean, obviously that would be ideal, but we don't always get ideal. Quite a bit of volume this morning. Still up, though. Etsy lower. Etsy's going to get removed here. Sorry, Etsy. Hope to see you again someday. Chegg, you can hang out. CyberArk, looks like it's just forming a base. I don't think anything's too wrong with Cyber. It's just basing. Down about 27%. So about the areas where bottoms begin to form. All right, Sherman Williams coming back. DR Horton, DHI, still looking pretty good. Disney, a little wide and loose where it is right now. INS pulled back nicely. UPLD, really not with much to show us. Take-Two Interactive, still moving its way towards highs of 140. Look at this major move from frickin' 20 all the way to 140 over the past few years. Crazy move. All right, Kiwi, still poking at highs. OKE, trying to get up there. GE, going sideways at the moment. We'll see how this ends up. Really is not a bullish setup for that. Roku already bounced back. Oh yeah, I was looking at a couple of setups there. Roku's still looking really good. MJGE. All right, they're all chopping around each other. I can't see anything. LVGO. I forget what you even do, but we'll add you to the watch list and then we'll kill you. All right, Qualys probably has to go too. Booking. Yeah, still looking really good here. I don't know if I had a trade set up for Booking. I did, but it wasn't spectacular. But Booking still potentially getting over a declining trend for a year or so here, and potentially the next leg up for Booking.com, which usually doesn't go down ever. If not, this is the bubble, 1999, 2000, and then bombed at 6.3, goes up, comes down in the recession, and then crazy ass uptrend from $42 to $2,000. But this company doesn't go down. This is a pretty safe bet right here. Booking.com. It won't give you 1,000% returns at $1,900 a share, but you can probably get $500 out of it pretty simply. And it's at a pretty good spot to think about doing that, actually. I'm not sure why it's not giving me very good percentages. That I'm not quite sure on. But Booking looking pretty good right there. EPAM also looking fine. Kiwi, Anik. Anik still going higher. Still hasn't broken down. We had a little triangle here for a minute, broke up from that, and we haven't been able to move lower since, so that's good for Anik. ESNT, bouncing off the 200-day. Amazon, not really actionable. I don't think. Not at this particular point in time. I'm going to take it off the list. We don't need to watch this thing like every day. NASDAQ 1.54 at the high of the day. HEI, nonstop growth play. Looks like another bounce off the 50-day the other day right there on earnings, and then right back at it. So I wasn't thinking about this one in earnings, but that was a buying opportunity at the 50-day on HEI. BLD, JD looking fine. Funko looking good. Still has not broken this trend line. And if it can break this trend line, then that could be, looks like it's doing that, then that could be a nice potential entry opportunity for Funko. This one's not bad at all. Little 10% run to 25 for Funko. That's pretty easy. I would argue that's pretty simple. 25.54. And for that to happen in 22 days, you can get 69%. That's not bad at all. So there's 10% for you right there if you're looking at it for Funko. At your desk, Rob? So I catch you on your commute, huh? That's kind of, sorry about that. Well, I guess you can't really help when you commute. Hold on a second, everyone. I'm going to go fill up my water. All right. Oh, well, that's cool, Rob. Yeah, I gotta say, if you're willing to sacrifice and get up a little early for something, you're probably gonna do pretty good at it. So I definitely commend you for having a lot more discipline than a lot of people. What are we short today? I'm not really in the shorting mood today, Eli. I'm actually, I don't know. I'm not bullish overall on most stocks, but our uptrend. Because keep in mind, from IBD standards, we're still in a confirmed uptrend. So I'm actually, I did take a Starbucks position. It broke my early buy point this morning. As a matter of fact, which was over. I didn't even see my alert go off. I don't think it did. My early buy point was over this high, which we broke this morning. So I took my entry position. We pulled back and filled the gap so far. We'll see how that one works out. But um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not. The market's in an uptrend. I won't say I've been fighting the market because I really haven't been. I did try to short it twice. Um, but we're still in the uptrend, and I see an opportunity, so I'm going to take the opportunity that I see there. Oh, what's wrong, Eli? Yeah, I have to say I always feel better when I go to bed a little earlier and wake up earlier. That's just I don't know. I just think it's world's so crazy. It's nice and calm in the morning, you know? Like staying and at least for me when I end up staying late, I'm just watching television or doing something on the computer so I got a screen blasting light in my eyeballs. It doesn't it isn't very helpful. Um, when you get up early and it's nice and calm. I still jump to the computer most days, but I don't know. It feels different. Must be a physiological reason for that. All right, 1.55 for the NASDAQ, holding up here pretty decently. GE getting on its high horse, trying to go higher. Maybe I'll close out that trade finally. Yeah, I'll close it out. All right. I just got out of GE. It's okay. I'll probably cave the next week, but that's okay. Now I can get this garbage thing off my screen. There we go. Goodbye, GE. TQQQ. I mean, you could technically. I mean, we are in a confirmed uptrend, so you could in actuality get back into your TQQQ position till we go back into a correction. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm too heavy in gold right now to really do anything with that. Yeah, so. But I'm not too mad at it. I mean, it is up quite a bit today, right? You're saying that 5% is today, I'm assuming. Yeah, 4.8%. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have another little move or two back down. China says looks like China's trying to not escalate the trade war, which bodes well for Trump actually pulling a rabbit out of his hat here. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm not too mad at it going along the Nasdaq again. Look, even with the TQQQ strategy, eventually every once in a while you're going to take a loss. It's just the way trading goes. I mean, even with the indexes, like those follow through days, right? We had two early in the bear cycle here in 2018. These two with arrows that didn't work out got taken out immediately. So those were two losses. But then we had a beautiful run here that easily wiped out those losses, So just easily wiping out those losses right there. And then we lead up to distribution again, and then, our uptrend starts over here. So, I mean, you're still within the realms of this follow-through day, too. Gold's got a lot of room to go. Gold's got a lot of room to go in both directions. I wouldn't argue on either side of that argument. But, yeah, I'm still happy with the gold trade. It's behaving great. Just kind of stair-stepping higher. And there's really nothing wrong with the gold trade. It's going really well. Absolutely. Nice little tight setup here. Volume. I mean, look at all the green spikes of volume on the GLD. Just gorgeous. Even this big red spike. This closed in like the 60%, 55% part of the range. Closed well up off the lows. So pretty good stuff there. So we'll see if this latest round of good news coming out of China is actually going to sustain the market. I was watching CNBC yesterday. Well, actually, I wasn't watching actual CNBC. It was a web clip of Fast Money. They had a gentleman on that talked about the upcoming bubble bursting in terms. He didn't even quite say what bubble it was, so it's a little. I'm not even sure if I could find it again. Let me see. Although he was pretty bullish, so I don't know if I really. Oh wow. 1.511. The 10-year looks like it popped a little bit today. Oh yeah. Don't pop, damn it. You're supposed to go lower. I'm trying to refi. Treasury yield slide pauses after China says it's open to resolving trade wars. Anyway, what the gentleman said was that no matter what happened, it was bullish for the stock market. I try to follow his rationale. The guys on the show seem to follow it better than I did. Basically, what he said was, trying to figure out, it was about bonds. He said if the bonds burst, the Feds will have to lower interest rates, which will buoy the stock market or something like that. So he said no matter which way it slides, it's bullish for stocks because we still have a general, our baseline economy is still sound, is still solid. So, there's not a tremendous amount of FUD from general economic indicators. It's just these bond yields that everybody's worried about. You can, I mean, you can day trade any asset. You can. It's up to you if you want to, though. If you're gonna day trade it, I mean, it's fairly volatile. You could day trade it. It's just, I mean, up to you if you want to. It's a kind of it's a little bit of a different skill set. Talk about switching directions quickly. Try day trading, yeah, if you want to talk about switching directions quickly. Well, we'll see there. It's not something I typically do. I like to take the longer term view with the TQQQ. It seems to be a little bit, in most instances, a little bit more simple. Now, if you can catch a big break on something like that, I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing. But you have to be really clear with your direction, because keep in mind, this is a 3 times ETF, and if you're going to trade at 3 times margin, you've got a tremendous amount of margin at your disposal, which is extraordinarily dangerous. You can't be over trading with 9-to-1 margin on anything. So if you are going to do something like that, Rob, I would paper trade that scenario for a while and just be really honest with yourself. Yeah, that too. That too. But yeah, I would probably avoid that unless that's in your personality type. Plus, you got a full-time job, so that's going to be a little hard to do anyways. So, all right, that's solved. All right, gold flat. Starbucks so far seems to have settled out here. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Looks like kind of like a bear flag. Maybe this is just a selling opportunity for some of them, but yeah, we'll see what happens. The end of the day is really what counts. Usually the morning is kind of where all the FUD happens. So, but starting to edge up is a good thing. Starting to edge up is a good thing. The last time we did something like this, it looks like we kind of bounced back into lows here. So maybe there'll be another opportunity to pick some up at lower prices. But I did get into some Starbucks because it did break my intraday or my intra pattern here early buy point. So we'll see what happens with that. What do you mean sell orders? You're looking at the order book or something? Or were you looking at intraday the TQQQ? All right, NASDAQ 1.45. Starbucks poking slightly lower. Winnebago working today, 4.5%, trying to bounce out of the 200-day moving average. Could be a decently clear trend line break on Winnebago. Probably get back up to 40. That's 20%. My goodness. For Winnebago. That's pretty good. So a lot of decent potential opportunities here. What? Oh, yeah, that's way too tight there. 50 days, 203 for 1018. That's not too bad. Oops. It's a big move for Winnebago. All right, Fox Factory bouncing off the 200-day line. The dotted blue line, it hasn't really ever gone under that. It broke it, looks like mid last year, and stayed above it the entire time. So also kind of low at that point. That could be a nice area. RP still. Look at this run on the weekly. Beautiful run on the weekly. If this thing breaks out of this pattern, could have another beautiful run. Just hasn't quite done it yet. Let me throw an alert up here. There we go. Just in case this thing does start to run. You can see how nice and tight it's been getting on the weekly chart here. Just a beautiful pattern. Volume is okay. Hard to see the true picture of what's going on there. And there we go. Couple of really nice volume candles in here. Also, obviously, to the sell side. What is this, real page? Let me look into what this does, because this is a... Yeah, real page. I forget what they do. Provides on-demand software for managing, screening, leasing, and accounting in the rental housing industry. So, software developer for housing. Okay, there's a big boom in renting going on. I could see that being definitely useful. They have a 97 composite rating, 81 relative strength rating, which is fine. You want a relative strength rating over 80 or 85. I forget exactly what the actual number is. It's in the same group as Atlassian, and it's ranked 4th in that industry group. Let's get the full stock checkup. Their numbers are okay. They're not perfect, but they're pretty good. EPS change last quarter only 16%, which is actually not very good. Last 3 quarters EPS is 24%, which is just shy of their benchmark, which I believe is 25%. One quarter of increasing EPS acceleration. 37 3-year EPS growth rate, so definitely slowing down a little bit there. They're going to have to see some, increasing again for things to really get bullish here. 13% sales change last quarter, also not very good. Yeah, they're definitely not firing on all cylinders at this moment in time. 23% 3-year sales growth rate, which is a little low. Pre-tax margins good at 21, ROE's good at 17. 0 quarters of increasing fund ownership and negative 2% change funds in funds owning stock. So okay, but not not really great. With a composite rating of 97, that seems a little rich. Must be on the low end of that 97. But I mean, you can't argue with the setup though. It's really good. Mentioned Funko earlier, kind of at an interesting spot in the charts. Kind of coming down after this, a run up here, 10% seems fairly clear. Could be in the charts right there at about, was that 25.47? It's about 8.6%. That could be a nice little run for Funko. It has to get over the hump for the day here first. All right, Nasdaq pulling in 1.2, 1.3%. Starbucks also pulling in 0.3%. Looks like taking another small leg lower. Really? That's funny.
What are you doing, James?
All right, Starbucks pulling back down a little bit lower here. Looks like we'll see if it's gonna H pattern on us or what's gonna happen down here. Looks like so far just a selling event this morning. Unfortunate. That's why you start off with small positions. Especially because, I mean, your actual buy point in Starbucks would be up here at 99.72, 99.82 according to IBD rules. This is an early entry point. You always go in lighter on your early entries because the early ones aren't really guaranteed to work out. So if you go in lighter, you're able to hold through, you know, a few days, maybe even a few weeks of sideways action versus if you're in a full position, that'd be a lot more painful. So mentally that helps. All right, so market's stalling out a little bit here. Today's up another one of those gappy days. So you can see on the cues here, we gapped up again, similar to what we did over here. So always hard to get long up here, at least on the indexes. Some of the individual stocks a little bit different, but you know, hopefully we can sustain. Hopefully that actually was kind of the way that China worded their statement. I actually really like how they worded that. Looks like maybe they're ready to deal, or they're just toying with the U.S. stock market, and then they're just gonna, you know, we're just gonna put the tariffs back on again. You know, that could happen too. Maybe they're just short. Maybe they're shorting the market up here. So, but on balance, that is a pretty bullish sentiment coming out of China, where they don't want to escalate the trade war. So, we'll see what happens out of that. But I gotta get out of here, guys. Get everything ready for the morning, and yeah, Eli, if you wanna, Rob, are you in the Slack chat room for Real Crypto? Eli, if you want to, if you have a list, if you want to share it in random or something, maybe Rob can take a look at those. If he has a hankering for day trading going on. So, all right, guys, well, I'll get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. All right, bye-bye.